Maybe blue skies behind me now, but very different story of just even a few hours ago. We just got out of a meeting with Apache Junction police. So right now where I am, there's not floodwaters, but down the street, just even 2 minutes away, very, very different story. You can take a look at some of the footage that we have from earlier today from Skyfox drone footage. It really is just a river out there. Even driving out here, trying to get through, it was really a struggle for us and for all the other drivers out on the road. Water rushing. You couldn't even tell where the streets were. Police say that their phones were ringing off the hook for some of those rescues. At some points, they were rescuing people in up to 6 feet of rushing water. One call they mentioned in particular came in shortly before 1 o'clock. It was an elderly woman. She was in her car. I spoke to her grandson too. She had her 2-month-old, or said a few-month-old dog in the car, and she was driving, got swept away by the rushing water. Her car ended up very far away from where she was initially driving. She was rescued. They couldn't find the dog. It was a few-month old. It was Yorkie Shih Tzu puppy, and they were mentioning that it just was so tough for her to drive out there, and she at this point has been taken to the hospital but was devastated because they can't find her dog anywhere. They're not sure if that dog survived as well. And this was just one of the many calls that they had out there today, and they said one of the hardest parts with these rescues was even finding out where the road was.
The section of roadway along Tomahawk and about 4th Avenue that suffered probably the most damage, and there's a section of roadway. At that point I could not see that roadway just because the floodwaters were so high.
Yeah, and they mentioned that I asked them if they knew how many calls came in today, and they said they really couldn't tell us exactly how many came in. The phones were just ringing off the hook. One thing they definitely want to remind people is that when you see those floodwaters, there's the saying, turn around, don't drown, be super careful out there, and we'll have much more. We'll show you that car was a red car that the woman was driving just down the street from where we are now. We'll have that coming up on the news at 6. We'll also hear from her grandson as well, who spoke with us about how she's doing. We're also told that one of the officers who helped to rescue her also suffered a laceration to his hand. He's recovering as well. So definitely a lot of damage out here, a lot of people dealing with all this stuff. Again, we'll have much more coming up on the later shows. But for now, reporting live from Apache Junction, I'm Irene Snyder for Fox 10 News.